You may have sacramentals in your home, but do they truly protect you? Many Catholics have crucifixes, holy water, or religious medals in their homes, but here's a question no one ever asks: do these sacramentals actually work, or could they be nothing more than decorations, if used incorrectly? It's a hard truth, but simply owning a sacramental doesn't automatically shield you. These sacred objects are not magic charms. They require something more, something many Catholics overlook. Saint Padre Pio, who battled spiritual darkness his entire life, knew this well. He didn't just bless himself with holy water, he used it in a way that made demons flee. He didn't merely wear a crucifix, he understood its power as a shield against evil. So today, I want to share something that could completely change how you view sacramentals. I'll reveal 7 essential sacramentals every Catholic should have, but more importantly, I'll show you how to use them with the power and purpose Padre Pio taught. Here's the real challenge: most people make a critical mistake when using these sacramentals without even realizing it. This mistake could be why, despite having sacramentals in your home, you still feel anxious, spiritually drained, or surrounded by conflict. If you've ever thought, I have these holy objects in my house, but nothing seems to change, this message is for you. The truth is, sacramentals only work when used with proper intention, faith, and knowledge. So stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn could be the missing piece in your spiritual life. Before we begin, I'd like to invite you to become part of something bigger. Many people watch these messages, but forget to subscribe or like the video. When that happens, YouTube doesn't recommend it to others who really need it. If you believe more people should hear this, hit the like button and subscribe now. It's a simple act, but it could help someone struggling find the guidance they need. Now, let's dive in, because what I'm about to share could transform your home and faith forever. What makes this revelation so critical is the time we're living in. We're in an age where spiritual attacks are becoming subtler and more sophisticated. The enemy doesn't need to be dramatic anymore. He works through discord, anxiety, depression, and the slow erosion of peace in our homes. Many families are under attack without even realizing it. The signs are there: constant arguments, unexplained illnesses, persistent nightmares, financial struggles, defying logic, and a heaviness no amount of positive thinking seems to lift. Before we continue with these powerful revelations, I want to share something special with you. We've created a comprehensive guide called The Spiritual Secrets of Padre Pio. This ebook contains powerful prayers, reflections based on his teachings, and practical advice to strengthen your spiritual life. Click the link in the comments to access this transformative resource that will deepen your understanding of spiritual warfare. Now, what sets sacramentals apart from ordinary religious objects? The key lies in understanding that these aren't magical items, they're physical channels of divine grace, blessed by the Church's authority. When Padre Pio spoke about sacramentals, he emphasized 3 critical elements most people miss. First, These objects must be properly blessed by a priest. This isn't just a formality, it's a vital step that infuses them with spiritual authority. Second, they must be used with genuine faith and understanding, not as superstitious talismans. And third, something most people never realize, they work in tandem with our spiritual lives, not as standalone protections. Think of sacramentals as spiritual armor, like what St. Paul described. Just as a soldier wouldn't simply wear armor into battle without training, we shouldn't rely on sacramentals alone to protect us. Each sacramental serves a unique purpose in our spiritual defense, creating an interwoven shield of divine protection around our homes and families. What you're about to learn are the specific sacramentals Padre Pio found most powerful in his spiritual battles, and more importantly, how to use them correctly to maximize their protective strength. These aren't just ancient traditions, they're vital spiritual tools for today's spiritual warfare. Remember, the enemy's greatest trick isn't launching obvious attacks, it's convincing us we don't need protection in the first place. By the time you finish watching this, you understand exactly why these sacred objects are crucial to your family's spiritual well-being and how to use them to create an impenetrable shield of divine protection around your home. Before we dive into each sacramental Padre Pio recommended, it's critical to understand what we are dealing with. Many Catholics confuse sacramentals with sacraments, and this misunderstanding often leads to misuse or diminished effectiveness. Let me share something Padre Pio often emphasized. Sacramentals create what he called an invisible shield around our homes and families. But this shield isn't automatic, it requires our active participation and understanding. Think of it like a sophisticated security system. Just having the equipment installed isn't enough. You need to know how to arm it, when to activate its features, and how to maintain it. That's what makes sacramentals uniquely powerful. While sacraments were established by Christ himself to sanctify us, sacramentals are given to us by the Church as tools for spiritual protection and growth. They don't operate like sacraments, they're not about directly transforming our souls. Instead, they create an environment where divine grace can flow more freely into our lives. Padre Pio experienced this reality in dramatic ways. During his most intense spiritual battles, he discovered that sacramentals, when used correctly, didn't just offer passive protection, they actively repelled evil forces. He'd often tell his spiritual children about nights when demons attacked him, and how those attacks would stop the moment he used blessed objects with the right faith and intention. But here's what most people get wrong about sacramentals: they treat them like spiritual good luck charms. That's exactly what the enemy wants, because it diminishes their true power. Sacramentals aren't magical amulets, they're channels of grace that require our faith and understanding to work effectively. The invisible shield created by sacramentals operates on 3 levels. First, it provides immediate protection against spiritual attacks. Second, it fosters an atmosphere that makes it harder for evil to gain a foothold in our homes. And third, this is key, it helps us receive more grace through the sacraments themselves. Padre Pio stressed that this shield grows stronger when multiple sacramentals are used together with understanding and faith. It's like building layers of spiritual protection around your home, brothers and sisters, with each sacramental serving a specific purpose, addressing different aspects of our spiritual needs and vulnerabilities. However, there's something critical you need to understand. The effectiveness of this shield depends largely on our state of soul and spiritual life. Sacramentals work most powerfully when we are in a state of grace, regularly receiving the sacraments, and living a prayerful life. They don't replace the sacraments, they're complementary tools that enhance our spiritual protection. Think of it this way: if your home is a fortress, the sacraments are its foundation and walls, while sacramentals are its defensive weapons and shields. Both are essential, but they serve different purposes in our spiritual battle. As we move forward to explore each specific sacramental, keep this foundational truth in mind: the invisible shield they create is real, but its power flows from God, through the Church's blessing, and our faith. These aren't mere symbols, they're tangible tools of divine protection that, when used correctly, can transform our homes into spiritual strongholds. Of all the sacramentals Padre Pio recommended, he considered holy water the most fundamental and powerful. After the sacraments, he'd say, holy water is the enemy's greatest fear. This simple yet profound sacramental is our first line of defense in spiritual warfare, and understanding how to use it correctly can transform your home's spiritual atmosphere. Why did Padre Pio place such emphasis on holy water? Because he witnessed its extraordinary power to dispel darkness firsthand during his most intense spiritual battles. He'd keep holy water close at hand, using it not just in moments of attack, but as a daily tool for protection and purification. The power of holy water lies in its simplicity and accessibility. Unlike other sacramentals that require specific blessings or rituals, holy water is readily available in every Catholic church. But here's what most people don't realize about this mighty sacramental: its effectiveness isn't just in the moment of use, it provides long-lasting protection. Padre Pio taught his spiritual children a specific method to use holy water effectively. First, he stressed the importance of keeping holy water in every room of your home, not just in a central location, but accessible throughout your living space. He suggested small holy water fonts by each doorway and beside each bed. Here's how to use holy water properly for maximum spiritual protection. Start each day by blessing yourself with holy water while making the sign of the cross with genuine faith and intention. This simple act, Padre Pio said, creates a spiritual seal of protection that follows you throughout the day. To protect your home, establish a routine of blessing key areas, doorways, windows, and room corners, paying special attention to places where family members gather often, like the dining room, living room, and bedrooms. When blessing these areas, make the sign of the cross with holy water while saying a short prayer for protection. But perhaps the most powerful use of holy water comes in moments of spiritual disturbance. If you sense an unusual heaviness in your household, unexplained tension, or spiritual stress among family members, use holy water immediately. Padre Pio taught that the simple act of sprinkling holy water with faith can dispel negative spiritual influences and restore peace. Here's a practical tip you know: combine the use of holy water with prayer. As you bless your home, pray a short but powerful prayer Padre Pio often used. By this holy water and by your precious blood, wash away all my sins, O Lord. This combination of sacramental and prayer creates an especially potent spiritual effect. Remember, holy water isn't just ordinary water, it's been blessed by the Church's authority and carries real spiritual power. But this power is activated by faith and proper use. Don't treat it as a superstitious ritual, but as a genuine tool of divine protection that, when used with understanding and devotion, establishes a foundation of spiritual safety in your home. After holy water, Padre Pio identified the crucifix as the most powerful sacramental for protecting our homes. He often said the crucifix isn't just a symbol, it's a sign of victory that makes demons tremble. This sacred image of Christ's sacrifice carries extraordinary power when understood correctly and displayed reverently in our homes. But let's address something critical. Padre Pio emphasized: there's a profound difference between treating the crucifix as mere religious decor and honoring it as a mighty tool of protection. Many Catholics hang crucifixes in their homes without realizing their true spiritual significance. The power isn't in the object itself, but in what it represents and how we engage with it in faith. Padre Pio provided specific guidance on the crucifix in the home. First, he recommended having a blessed crucifix in every room, not just a central location. Placement matters. The crucifix should be visible and positioned where family members can easily focus on it during prayer or spiritual distress. Special attention should be paid to bedrooms, where spiritual battles often intensify at night. Here's something remarkable Padre Pio shared from his own experience. During intense spiritual attacks, he'd often clutch his crucifix and find immediate relief. He taught that the crucifix is both a reminder and a weapon. It reminds us of Christ's victory over evil and serves as a channel of that victorious power in our daily struggles. The proper way to use the crucifix for spiritual protection involves more than just hanging it on a wall. Padre Pio suggested these specific methods. First, begin and end each day by making the sign of the cross while gazing at the crucifix. Second, in moments of spiritual attack or family tension, gather the family before the crucifix to pray. Third, periodically touch and kiss the crucifix while expressing your faith in Christ's victory over evil. But here's what most people don't realize: the crucifix's protective power works in tandem with our daily spiritual lives. The more we meditate on Christ's sacrifice and victory while looking at the crucifix, the stronger its protective presence becomes in our homes. It's not about the size or artistic beauty of the crucifix, it's about the faith and devotion with which we regard it. Let me share a practical tip From Padre Pio's teachings, when blessing your home with holy water, make the sign of the cross before each crucifix while praying. By your cross and resurrection, protect this home and all who dwell in it. This simple practice combines the power of multiple sacramentals and strengthens your home's spiritual protection. Of all the sacramentals we've discussed, Padre Pio had a special connection with the Rosary, which he called my weapon of choice in spiritual warfare. He carried it constantly, praying dozens of decades each day, especially during his most intense spiritual battles. But what made this simple string of beads so powerful in his hands, and how can we unlock its protective power in our homes? The secret lies in understanding that the Rosary isn't just a devotional prayer, it's what Padre Pio called a chain that binds evil. When used with genuine faith and understanding, it creates a spiritual shield around your home that evil forces struggle to penetrate. But here's what most people miss. The Rosary's power isn't just in the physical beads, or even the prayers themselves, it's in how we use it as a daily tool of protection. Padre Pio taught his spiritual children to view the Rosary as both a defensive and offensive weapon. Defensively, having blessed rosaries placed strategically throughout your home creates points of protection. Offensively, actually praying the Rosary builds what he called a fortress of faith around your family. Here's the method Padre Pio recommended to maximize the Rosary's protective power. First, ensure your Rosary is properly blessed by a priest. Then, establish a daily family Rosary time, even if not everyone joins at first. The consistency of this prayer creates a spiritual rhythm that strengthens your home's protection over time. But there's something critical about the Rosary that Padre Pio emphasized. Its effectiveness increases when we pray with attention to the mysteries. Don't just recite the prayers mechanically. As you pray, visualize each mystery, letting its power and meaning sink into your heart. This mindful prayer creates a deeper spiritual shield than rushed or distracted recitation. Here's a practical application few know. In moments of spiritual turmoil in your home, when tensions rise, fear creeps in, or peace feels elusive, take your Rosary and pray, even just one decade, with intense focus. Padre Pio often said that even a single Hail Mary, prayed with true faith, can drive away darkness. The Rosary also works in powerful combination with other sacramentals. Try this method Padre Pio often recommended. While praying the Rosary, move through your home sprinkling holy water and pausing before each crucifix. This combination of sacramentals creates what he called a triple shield of protection. Remember, the Rosary's power as a sacramental comes from its connection to Our Lady. As Padre Pio taught, when we pray the Rosary, we entrust our troubles to the most powerful Queen of Heaven. This isn't just poetic language, it's a spiritual reality that manifests invisible protection for our homes and families. When it comes to sacred medals, Padre Pio had very specific recommendations, particularly the Saint Benedict Medal and the Miraculous Medal. These aren't mere decorations. He emphasized that they are spiritual shields of protection, each with its own unique strength. But understanding how to use these medals correctly makes all the difference in their effectiveness. Let's start with the Saint Benedict medal, which Padre Pio considered especially powerful against evil attacks. What makes this medal unique is that it contains an actual exorcism blessing inscribed in its Latin lettering. But here's what most people don't realize: the medal's power isn't just in wearing it, it's in standing firm and trusting in the profound meaning behind each symbol and prayer it contains. Padre Pio recommended placing Saint Benedict medals at specific points in your home, near doorways, windows, and in the foundation, if possible. He taught that these medals create what he called zones of protection, where evil forces struggle to enter. But the medal must be properly blessed by a priest for this protection to be activated. The miraculous medal, revealed to Saint Catherine Labour by the Virgin Mary herself, was another sacramental Padre Pio highly valued. This medal carries extraordinary promises of protection. Padre Pio noted that wearing the miraculous medal creates a special connection to Our Lady's protective mantle. But he stressed one key point: the medal should be worn with conscious devotion, not as a thoughtless habit. Here's a practical application Padre Pio taught: when using sacred medals to protect your home, create what he called a circle of grace. Place blessed medals at the four corners of your property or home while praying for Our Lady's protection. This establishes a spiritual boundary that helps shield your home from negative influences. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of sacred medals comes from combining their use with other sacramentals. Padre Pio recommended this specific practice: when blessing your home with holy water, touch each sacred medal while making the sign of the cross and saying a short prayer. This unites the protective power of multiple sacramentals, creating a stronger spiritual defense. There's also something unique about how sacred medals work over time. Unlike some sacramentals that provide immediate protection, medals build what Padre Pio called an accumulative shield. Their protective strength grows stronger with faithful and devoted use. The more we reverence and honor these sacred objects, the more effective their spiritual protection becomes. Keep in mind, though, Padre Pio's critical warning: sacred medals aren't magical talismans. Their power comes from God, through the Church's blessing and our faith. When we understand this truth and use these medals with proper devotion, they become mighty tools of spiritual protection for our homes and families. Now that we understand the power of each sacramental, Padre Pio taught that establishing a daily protective ritual is crucial. He emphasized that consistency in using these sacred objects creates what he called a rhythm of grace in our homes. Let me share the specific daily practices he recommended to maintain strong spiritual protection. The morning ritual was especially important to Padre Pio. He taught that the early hours, particularly at dawn, are powerful moments for reinforcing our spiritual defenses. Start each day by blessing yourself with holy water while standing before your main crucifix. This simple act, done with faith, establishes what he called the morning seal of protection. Throughout the day, Padre Pio identified what he called key moments when spiritual protection needs reinforcement. These often occur during transitions, like leaving or entering the home, before meals, and during family gatherings. At these times, he suggested a brief but powerful practice: touch your sacred medal while making the sign of the cross and offering a short prayer. The evening ritual was something Padre Pio considered essential for peaceful rest. Before bed, he advised walking through your home with holy water, blessing each room, while holding your rosary, paying special attention to bedrooms, where spiritual battles often intensify at night. This nightly blessing creates what he called a nighttime shield of protection. But here's something critical Padre Pio emphasized about these daily rituals: they should involve the whole family whenever possible. Even if some family members are skeptical, their mere presence during these prayers and blessings allows them to receive protection. He often said the faith of one family member can shield the entire household. For times of spiritual attack or unusual tension, Padre Pio provided a specific emergency ritual, combining all sacramentals in a moment of focused prayer. Hold your rosary before the crucifix, use holy water, and touch your sacred medal while praying. This combination creates what he called a fortress moment of protection. Keep in mind, these daily rituals aren't about superstition or rigid rules. They're about creating a consistent pattern of spiritual protection that builds and strengthens over time. As Padre Pio taught, it's not the complexity of the ritual that matters, but the faith and consistency with which it's performed. As we conclude our journey through Padre Pio's teachings on sacramentals, let's seal this knowledge with understanding and action. Everything we've learned about these powerful protective tools comes together in what Padre Pio called the final seal: how we commit to using these sacred objects in our daily lives. Remember how we started, talking about the invisible shield protecting Catholic homes. Now you understand that this protection isn't automatic, it's built through the faithful use of sacramentals, each serving its unique purpose. In our spiritual defense, holy water cleanses and purifies, the crucifix is our sign of victory, the rosary binds us to Our Lady's protection, and sacred medals create points of grace in our homes. But Padre Pio left us with one final, crucial teaching about sacramentals: their power grows when we share this knowledge with others. He often said, when you help another soul understand these spiritual weapons, you strengthen your own protection. That's why I'm asking you now to share this message with others who might need this protection for their homes. Here are the immediate steps Padre Pio recommended to begin your journey with sacramentals. First, gather all your sacramentals and have them properly blessed by a priest. If you don't have them all yet, start with what you have. Even a single blessed crucifix can begin your home's transformation. Second, establish your daily protective ritual, beginning with the morning blessing, using holy water. Remember, consistency matters more than complexity. Third, create your home's protection points by properly placing your sacramentals, crucifixes in each room, holy water fonts by doorways, sacred medals at strategic points. If these teachings have touched your heart, I invite you to write a "Choose Protection" in the comments below. This simple act declares your commitment to creating a spiritually protected home. Before we close, let me share one final prayer Padre Pio taught to bind spiritual protection. Place your hand on your sacred medal or rosary and pray with me. Lord, through these blessed sacramentals, establish your protection in my home. Through the intercession of Padre Pio, let these sacred objects become channels of your grace and shields against all evil. Under Our Lady's mantle and by the power of your holy cross, seal this protection in my home and family. Amen. Remember, the spiritual shield we've built today, through understanding these sacramentals, grows stronger with each passing day of faithful use. Let this be the beginning of a new chapter in your spiritual life, where your home truly becomes a sanctuary of divine protection.